Okay, I think I've got it. Happy Women's History Month. It's Angela L. Todd, your all-time favorite women's historian, I'm sure. And I wanted to talk to you today about um, what to keep and what to throw away, which is really what we all talk about all the time. So I'm very inclusive. I love ephemera. I love orphan photos. I love sometimes blurry photos. To me, capture a moment, especially if I'm, riding in a golf cart with my kid driving or whatever. So I tend to keep things that aren't strictly by the book. So, not many people advise you to keep the blurry photos, right? But I'm sharing today a story that I heard on Maureen Taylor's podcast. She is the photo detective, and she interviewed the recycling guy in this story. And I've already posted the link to the story below. And he works at a recycling center in the Shetland Islands. And an elderly, distinguished gentleman came in and said, I have 5,000 slides in these boxes and I'm ready to dump them. Do I just dump them? He said, yeah, leave them there. I'll take care of them. You know where I'm going, right? So the recycling guy looked in the boxes and um, went through them and found some of the Shetland Islands decades ago and asked the gentleman, may I go through these and see if there are some that I can donate to the Historical Society? Elderly gentleman said yes, and he did. So, what's interesting, I'm in my mid 50s, and the photos in question date back to the 1980s. It doesn't sound that long ago, does it? But it was. And so the way of life in the Shetland Islands has changed a lot since the 80s, apparently. I didn't know till I heard the man interviewed, the recycling guy interviewed. But the photographs are gorgeous. I will put a link to the photos themselves below this video, and you can check them out yourself. And, we'll recognize, I think, the picture quality. They're slides, so we'll recognize the film quality and the feel as being vintage, and some of the clothing as being vintage. And I haven't done all the exploring I want to yet. He did donate them to a historical society, and I'm hoping they will, or I can pull up then and now images of the town that they're in. It also, I have to say, really pulls at my heartstrings because it's a coastal fishing village, it looks like. And being from Maine, that kind of thing really grabs at my heart. Those villages are very few and far between, right? Nobody can live on the coast if they're fishermen. They can't afford that. So the way we live has really changed in the last several decades. And I just adore it that this um, rescue from the trash has resulted in these amazing photographs. And I'm going to drop the links and you'll see for yourself. So here's what I want to say. If you've got a big photo collection, I can help. I'm happy to give guidelines for what to save based on your interests, right? So for me, I have lots of I thought I was very artistic, taking very close up photos of flowers in somebody's garden. Well, I'm not going to hold on to those because I don't remember whose garden, what year, I don't know what all the flowers are. Those can go, and that's a pretty hefty stack. But if you're the president of the garden club or you're very regionally famous for your gladiolas that you breed, you may want to keep those photos. All of them, some of them, that part's up to you. But context really is what's going to decide. And once you decide what you have or figure out what you have, if you find you have a big chunk of things that are identified and you think, oh, well, I don't really look at these anymore, but it seems a shame to throw them in the recycling bin, reach out to me. I'm happy to scout around and see if I can find a place that would take your photos. We can brainstorm together about um, how to present them, who to present them to, how to save them, because these precious little moments that seem so ordinary at the moment, right? Like even the thousands and trillions of photos that we're taking in this decade will someday seem charming and quaint and, a look back. And so before you dump your big boxes of images, give me a call. Let's think it through. Okay. So I put a link already to the BBC story about finding the images, and I'm going to put a link to Maureen Taylor's podcast below. I've studied with her, and she's very smart and fun and cool. Okay, I hope you have a great day, and see you next Tuesday. Bye bye.